What's up, Trap? How you guys doing? This is going to be your Love and Hip Hop review for the season finale reunion part 2. So look, it ain't going to be long because this was real anticlimactic. They had us all thinking that this second part was going to be so full of a bunch of this, and it really wasn't nothing here. So let me just go on and just run through it. We start off where we left off with the results of the results of the lie detector test, which showed that Carly was being truthful. The only thing that came back was the question about whether her and Pooh had ever been intimate was inconclusive. That still doesn't mean that Carly lied. It just means that it was inconclusive. But the reality is her and Pooh probably did do something, a little something this, a little something that. But it wasn't to the extent that Pooh, well, at least according to the results, it wasn't to the extent that Pooh said, and it wasn't on the level in which Pooh said it was. So, okay, there we go. Carly's been vindicated. Pooh looked like a liar, and she looked desperate. And I'm gonna say this: anybody who might have believed Pooh, what a stunt she pulled later on in this episode basically proved that okay, that's just what you do. You pulling the same bullshit stunts. Um, the funniest part about that whole thing was when Carly said, "I want to introduce you to a pathological liar instead of pathological liar," and the thing was, she said it once, so I was like, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you just said it wrong. But then she said it a second time, and Jock was like, "A what? Like what? What word you using?" And I feel the same way, Jock. A what? Um, Mimi went on to just say basically, I think, but it was the same thing Mimi had said during the season that all she knows is that she left Carly at Pooh's house, and 3 days later it came out in the blog that there was that there was a menage a trois. She said, but I never said that Carly and Pooh slept together. That's all I know is what happened, whatever. So then we did the whole scrap piece. We went through his whole situation with, and that's when Karen was on the couch. And it really wasn't nothing deep there. I must have missed the part where Monique did a whole lot of talking. And maybe it went out because maybe it went out or whatever. I didn't see Monique do a whole lot of talking, but Monique was there. Um Scrap has his. We know. I mean, I don't think they gave us anything we didn't find out in the season. It was nothing to reunion. Like they didn't bring Scrap's baby mama on there, which was probably for the best because she probably would have acted a damn fool. We talked about him having his kids and him starting his restaurant. It talked about the situation with his dad. He was like, the door's open. He doesn't really have the barrier up. He would love for his kids to get to know their grandfather. Karen told the story about how she told Scrap her dad was alive, which sounded crazy because she said she asked Scrap, whose name is on your birth certificate? I wish my mama would come to me and say, whose name is on your birth certificate? Who is your daddy? Bitch, was you there? Did you just ask me who my daddy was? Like, it just sounded real crazy. And he said the guy's name, and she was like, for really? For real? I just met a guy who got that same name. And Scrap said, but I bet he don't have he don't have the same birth date. Yes, he does, because he's your father. I was like, what? That didn't even make no sense. That whole story sounded stupid. That ain't even how it went down because it didn't make no damn sense. Um, then they talked about Carly visiting him in jail, and Stevie done let it be known that he don't watch the show because they said that on the show that Carly went to visit him in jail. Not that I expect that Stevie actually watches the show. Stevie probably watched the show in 20 years. But he was like, she did? Come to find out Carly visited him a few times, not just once or twice. So Pooh at the time was sitting next to Karen King. Pooh gonna say, that's because they was sleeping together. I think she used the other word, but I'm trying not to curse. That's because they was sleeping together. Baby, Karen reached over and grabbed that wig, and next thing you know, by the time they got Pooh from up under it, because then Tokyo jumped in it, which y'all know Tokyo just got jumping something to jump in something. But by the time they pulled Karen out from under there, her dress was ripped. Her wig was still on though. Whoever put that wig on did a good job because that wig was still on because Karen grabbed that wig. So her head might be hurting like a motherfucker, but she got the wig off. I mean, the wig was still on. And they asked Karen about that thing. Karen said, look, I don't play when it comes to my kids and I don't do no talking. I don't do no whole lot of talking. I said, I know that's right. Karen was like, I won't give security a chance to get to this. And she was sitting right next to her. So it wasn't no misfires. It wasn't no, oops, I tried to hit her and it didn't work. No, no. Mm-mm. That was the funniest part. That was the best part of this whole damn episode. So I'm letting y'all know now that was the most exciting part. It's downhill from there. Um Akbar Tokyo piece of it, again, we reiterated. Tokyo was like, look, I don't even check into my flights. So I know I ain't gonna check it when I come to somebody's city. She was like, I did fly. I flew here, I flew first class. Yep, I sure did. Um they talked about the Akbar um Shakana piece. And again, and Shakana was like, you know what? I messed with that dude. He was my fuck boy. Like he was laying up in my house and wasn't working. That's a fuck boy, right? She was like, he was my in-house dick. When she came up to me and told me she was pregnant by him, I told her that might not be what you want to do, sis. That might not be the best move. She talked about having an abortion, which was her situation to do whatever she wanted to do with it with. Akbar was making faces, but Akbar ain't say it was a lie. She was like, so yeah, I mean, she messed with him after me. She had a baby by him, and for real, I mean, like she was like, I was young. It was what it was. Like, it wasn't that deep. So, again, and, Akbar was like, we had beef and she can act like it ain't never go down. But what it sounds like is that they had come to some sort of truce and she brought it back up to have some conflict on the show. And she said, for real, she really just was feeling like they was ganging up on Pooh. So, I guess she used her past with Shakana to sort of get in where she fit in with the whole thing with Pooh and was like, I ain't gonna let y'all just gang up on her like that. I'm not gonna let y'all do her like that. And I was just like, who started it? But okay. Um, Pooh. So then Pooh and Sierra got into it again. So Pooh started talking about how Sierra was at her house and wore her underwear. She gonna pull the underwear out and then throw them on the stage, just like she did with the sheets, talking about, and you can have them back because I couldn't get the stains out of them. Okay, first of all, there's a couple of things wrong with this whole scenario. One, and the host even said that, why you always got props? And it's funny, I had written that down before she even said it. Pooh, why you always got props? But because you did the exact same thing with them damn drawers that you did with the sheets, it really makes it seem like what you did with the sheets was a total fabrication because you pulled the same stunt, throwing them out, talking about that how there was a stain on them. Number two, if for whatever reason somebody ever came to my house and needed to borrow a pair of drawers, you can have them. Why would I ever want them back? I don't give a damn how many stains you put in them. I'll never know because I don't never want them back. Ever. Never, ever want them back. So, had Sierra returned them and there wasn't a stain on them, you were going to wash them and wear them again? That's got to be the nastiest. That's like using somebody's toothbrush. That is the nastiest shit I have ever heard. Does Pooh realize how nasty this stuff makes her seem? But I think by this time, nobody was really paying Pooh any attention or listening to Pooh or even believing Pooh. We did talk to Tokyo. Tokyo said she was dealing with depression, but that, she worked through it. She's in a better position now, better situation. She said that, you know, she was one of those people that never felt like depression was real. She said so for her, she didn't identify it. And had they not sort of kind of done an intervention and ran up on her, she probably would have just been in denial about the situation because in her mind, depression wasn't something that was real. They talked to um Kirk and Rashida. And basically, Rashida was like, look, this is our marriage. We decided we were going to make it work. We weren't ready to throw it away. I knew that accepting what he did meant accepting Carter. It was hard, but, I made that decision for my family and we working through it. They asked about, the whole phone situation. And she sort of backpedaled a little bit and was like, well, I understand that he has to have, a conversation with her. But, it's just all about making sure what's in the best interest of Carter or whatever. She said, but just being honest with me, because then what ends up happening is we end up right back where we end up right here, dealing with the mistrust or whatever. They talked to Spice about the light skin, dark skin piece again. Mimi admitted that, there is some privilege to be a light skin black versus a dark skin black, that's valid. We know that exists. We don't have to like it or accept it, but we know that exists in our world. And y'all, I ain't got nothing else. I just don't. I'm sorry. It ain't give me nothing. The most exciting part was when Karen King got on pool. That thing was funny as hell. And I'm sure it lasted longer than they showed us because the fact that she was literally right next to her, security wasn't right up on them. So I'm sure. And then, like I said, um, then Tokyo jumped in, and that was a whole nother level that they had to untwine. So, but other than that, y'all, that's all I got. I'm sorry if it's not exciting because it wasn't nothing exciting about it. Talk to y'all later. Peace.